So,
Oh shit. Oh shit. Ow.
right, so you're
Fuck.
fixed on there.
Oh, my testicles.
Your testicles? Dorks Down Under.
There's a heater that I have underneath my desk because what happens is it hits the top of the desk and then the heat comes out. Because otherwise, if I have it next to me, it just goes up into the garage, and then you can just it's no heat. So if you put it underneath the table,
Yeah.
the heat hits the top and then comes out on either side, which means you actually feel some of the warmth, so you don't get freezing. Because like right now, inside this garage, according to the thermostat, it's 11 degrees.
Okay,
So it's
all I'm going to take away from this conversation is that you like to heat up your bollocks.
I didn't mean to, but what happened is when I turned the power on, obviously I left it on last time, so it started getting hot. I didn't realise, and because it fell against my chair, it was coming straight up, and yeah, chestnuts roasting on an open fire,
Well,
Jack Frost nipping at you.
if that's not a good intro, I don't know what is. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, hello, welcome to Dogs Down Under. I'm co-host Jordan, and following with me is actually you're this side of my camera, and joining me is my fellow co-host Dez. Dez, how are we doing, my friend?
I'm good, other than roasting my chestnuts. I'm very good.
Fabulous, great. So we've released our first episode. We are now live on Spotify. I managed to get it working. Took a while.
I didn't have no faith in you.
Yeah,
But I had a feeling it was going to be pretty tricky.
I think it's entirely acceptable to believe that there was zero faith in me in getting this done properly. So, it was a learning experience, but now we're on live. So, if you do want to listen to us, you can obviously go to Spotify. We may delve out into other channels or other types of podcasts. But at the moment, I think Spotify is quite nice and easy. We all lots of people use it. So, I figured that's our best outlet at the moment. So
and my face is a lot prettier on Spotify. Just saying.
Yes, but also if you want to see our beautiful faces, you can come join us on YouTube, where you can see our content live. So yes, Spotify, YouTube. We've got a TikTok, but we haven't used it yet, and we've got Twitter as well. So make sure you follow us on Twitter as well. Highly recommend.
Yeah, because then you can join myself, Jordan, and all the cam girls that seem to randomly have followed us in the last week.
Yes, we've had quite a few randos following us, but it's easy to tell the bot accounts, isn't it? Which is great. So, unlike last time we had a bit of a should we say ramble session for our initial podcast. We've actually decided, ladies and gentlemen, and this might blow people's minds. We've actually decided to have a bit of structure to this week's episode.
Isn't that a dirty S word? I'm pretty sure that is.
Structure. I mean, yeah, it's going to be a bit unusual, but I'm sure we can get through this together, Des.
We can give it a go. Can't hurt.
So what we're going to do is on YouTube, I'm going to break it up into segments, so you'll be able to jump to the bits you want to talk about, and the bits you want to listen to. But also, make sure you do comment, share ideas. We're going to have some questions come up. Or poll every now and again just to see that Des is wrong about the Rampage movie and stuff like that. So,
but it's fine. I'm okay. I'm strong. I'll get through this. Probably can't.
So I'll tell you what. To kick off the podcast, I'm going to discuss what I've been doing my week. So actually, this week's been very busy. My little boy's been unwell, so a couple of days here and there I've been having to do dad duties, yippee, while juggling work. But one of my two major things have happened this week. One of them is I got my first tattoo ever.
Was that your first?
That's my first tattoo. Yes, I got my first ever tattoo.
Okay, and just in case this does pop up in our live stream.
Oh yeah,
careful,
no,
ladies, you are going to see some bare legs, and it's kind of hot.
I'm sure. Future editing Jordan can stick it up in the middle, between us right now. So I'll just do a backstory about tattoos. I have wanted a tattoo ever since I was a teenager, but I'm very indecisive. I want something that I like and I think looks good, and my wife's been, my wife was the same. She wanted tattoos since she was a teenager as well, but she's on her third one now. She's only had small ones, and
She's a bigger badass than you. You're telling us.
yeah, yeah. So it's just one of those things of I finally got round and obviously went for a Venom Gengar, or Vengar as I'm calling him. He's Vengar. We are Vengar. It's great. It's combining two of my loves. I do love anime shows like Pokemon, and also Marvel and Venom's like one of my favorite characters because
If you look over his right shoulder or left shoulder, one of the shoulders.
Ding, 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 ding. As you can see, Venom Lego head, always fabulous. But yeah, so my first ever tattoo. It's rather large. It's about 10 centimeters wide and 10 centimeters long, and I have to say when he was doing the outline, and I was listening to, I was watching a movie on my phone to distract my mind, and I got 50 odd minutes in, and I was like, I am going to start crying. This is killing me.
Real men cry.
And I was like, if I get, I asked for a break, and he said, sure thing, so he stopped. But of course, I was like, if I'm going to look in this mirror, if I see that he hasn't even finished the outline, I don't know if I'm going to go the distance. But no. Thank God, I got off the table, and he's already done all the outline, and he was doing all the black shading side of it, and I was like, oh, thank God. All right, okay, I could do this.
Tattooing to me is so weird because people I've spoken to, some people are like, oh, the outline's easy, it's the shading that kills. And then other people go, oh, the shading's easy, I hate the outline. So it depends on who you speak to, I feel. It depends on...
I have to say, so the second half of the session, I literally grabbed my Switch, because I brought my Switch with me, and I literally loaded on Pokemon Legends of Arceus, and literally laid there playing that solidly for about an hour and a half, and then I wasn't even paying attention. No, it was about an hour. Yeah, it was about an hour after, and I was playing away, not even caring. And then suddenly I was like, that hurts. I said, what's going on, Adam? He said, oh, remember that I told you at the beginning of the session that the first 10 minutes and the last 10 minutes tend to be the worst bits? I went, yeah. And he went, yeah, we're halfway through the last 10 minutes, and yeah, it's it's going to get bad because I have to go up towards where your inner back leg, inner knee joint is. And he said, that bit's going to hurt. And
oh man!
And it was the last 10 minutes were really hard, but it was actually quite good. But
yeah,
yes,
I'm like you a week ago. So I'm a tattoo virgin. I've always wanted one, but the problem was the one that I did want was a full, like a 3/4 sleeve, and it's something that I do still want to get. I'm just like.
I do want
it, or do I get a sleeve?
Yeah, I do want like a shoulder going onto my arm, sort of like back shoulder going onto the arm. But I want it to be tribalish, but I can't quite find a design that goes ooh. Whereas when I thought about doing Venom Gengar, I saw a rough image, sent it to Adam, and Adam went, yeah, sure. He said, we discussed colours and how to make it look, and I went, yeah, sure, and we did that. And he drew up the design for me, and I was like, oh my God, this is sick. He's done it in anime style as well, so it's got the block colour to it.
But hopefully, if you are watching the YouTube, you've seen it by now.
Oh yeah.
And I must say, it is kind of friggin' awesome. Like, I was like when he said I got a tattoo and he showed me it, I was like, I actually really like that. Like, I love Venom. I mean, I played Pokemon Go, but that's pretty much my entire Pokemon career at the moment. But
I need to add you as a friend on Pokemon Go. I've just been playing it recently. I need to get.
I think I've got you. I'm pretty sure.
All right, yeah, I need to check.
I also haven't played it for like probably.
I actually need to use you then when I get to Tazzy because I need to do the trade with do 3 trades and blah 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 to complete some quests. So I got
that Australian fancy one. The one that looks like the giant kangaroo. Starts with K. And every time I think of it, it reminds me of.
I don't remember half. I don't. This is the problem. I like all the original. So the original and so the first 150, the 151 are my favorites, and then they just get weird after that, and I can't remember half of them.
What have I got? I've also got the bull one as well.
Oh, there we go. You're back. You're your potato.
Sorry, I also got the bull one too. So a friend of mine in the States, we swapped accounts. So he got me a few of the bulls. And I got him a few of the Australian exclusive ones. Yeah. So
okay, well I've got a few of the European exclusive ones as well,
Good
like
garlic.
Kangaskhan and stuff like that. So yeah, we'll
You
do
know, that's the Australian one.
Kangaskhan. No,
Hmm.
no, Relicanth is the dinosaur fish one is one. Anyway, there's a few. We'll work it out and we'll do all the trades and sort it out from there.
I don't know why I'm arguing about Pokemon. Like, I'm like, I only know what I've got, and I thought that this one was Australian, but I'm like, okay, maybe not.
Yeah, but anyway, so that was the first big thing of the week, and the second big thing is yesterday was my 11-year wedding anniversary. So
11 years, man. I haven't even had a pet that long. Damn.
well, me and my wife have been together. I mean, obviously we've been married for 11, been dating 14 years. So we've been together 14 years now.
And
And-
enough to even change countries.
Enough to change countries. We've been through ups and downs.
Jesus.
we've done a ton of things, and yeah, it's just mental. But
It just kept you.
yeah, I think that's the more important thing. Is as I posted on my Facebook saying, well, that's another year where my wife hasn't murdered or / divorced me, and all my friends have commented saying she deserves a medal, get compensation on the line, you know, and all
Yeah,
this.
well, yeah.
So yeah, so that's kind of my week and what's been going on. It's been a bit of a roller coaster week. Oh, the other thing is I've been playing a ton of Fortnite because Dragon Ball the new Dragon Ball Super movie is tied in with the new Fortnite thing at the moment. So I've been unlocking, and you get to Kamehameha and everything. I've been great. I've been enjoying that.
Yeah. No, I knew about that one,
Hence the reason
mainly
why.
because I get the Fortnite updates. Otherwise, I was like, I have no idea what he's talking about. Fire, man. So that it's been a week, and you've done all that in a week.
Yeah, as well as I also passed my ISO 45001 exam as well, which is for health and safety management systems.
Oh yeah. Actually, no.
Boring
Yeah,
as.
actually, no. I think I used to have that many moons ago.
Well, you know, being an auditor, you know, I'm wanting to update my requirements and knowledge sort of thing. So I ended up when I got a healthy bonus, and I got working part time at the moment. So I'm like, well, might as well use this bonus to do some advancement. So yeah. So
don't mind if I
that's
do.
the week of me. Des, let's discuss you. What have you been up to, pal?
Okay, so he got a tattoo, so he got cooler. He started a podcast, so he got even cooler. Yeah, he's got a wife, which is weird for nerds and dorks. So that's really weird. And he's been with her longer, so it's not like he's tricked her into it. And
So
also,
the secret is to lock them down early. That's the secret.
and then he got smarter. I'm like, yeah, I can top this.
Should we have done it the other way around, Des?
After hearing everything you've done this week, 100%. So, yeah, I haven't really done that much. Like I've worked, but on Thursday, I went to the Saints Row launch event. So Saints Row was a game back in the day that I had a massive love for the first one. Then the second one came out, which was meant to be pretty much the first one, but with a lot more real world and a lot more things. And it's weird. There wasn't heaps of stuff that was added to make it super different, but it added a lot more freedoms and a lot more understandings. So for me, I was so excited for when that came out. Unfortunately, when it did come out, my dad passed away, so I had to come back from Canada to obviously for the funeral and stuff.
Yeah.
And I actually saw the Houlihan twins, who are guys I grew up with since kindergarten, and one of them worked for THQ. So I'll send you a picture of the pack he gave me, but it's called the Freckle Bitches Pizza special edition. Because yeah, Freckle Bitches is what like all the food's called in the first couple, and it's amazing. But it's kind of like this pin-up girl on this white box with kind of these big juicy thighs, wearing kind of more like rapper stuff. So like you think 1990s with the little Daisy Dukes and stuff. And then inside of it had like a Saints, which were the gang that you were. It's like this cool purple singlet. Special edition of the game. It had like a little gun and a little USB port that was a bullet. Had the game in it and stuff like that. And literally for the 3 weeks after that happened, after my dad passed away and I first got home, it kept me sane and it helped me get through a lot. So Saints Row has always had a special place for me. So when Play On, the PR company, invited me, I was like, 100%, let's do this. So we actually went to, I think it's Moondog Brewery, is it's called, because they actually released a special edition pale ale for it. which
Okay.
they called the new Juicy Pale Ale, which is called Keep It Santo, which is obviously a character in the game. They
Okay.
did their own custom art. And the beer's actually really nice. So it's kind of a pale ale, but it does have the undertones of kind of like almost like a slight citrus and slight passion fruit to the background of it,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I
which
get you.
gives it this really nice flavor. So I actually really liked it. So we had a couple there, and then they had the character creation of the game, which is amazing. And of course, for anybody that knows me, whenever there is a character creation, I will always try to give them either an afro or as much hair as humanly possible, just because
Why would
I
that be,
don't want
Des?
life to imitate art. Yeah, yeah. So this beanie covers up a lot of sheen, shall we say?
Are
But
we
also
stopping? Are
because
we
it's
stopping the glare on the camera? Is that the reason
yeah,
why
no,
you're using
yeah.
the beanie?
We're just gonna and then power it back up. Yeah, my camera is just gonna be like, oh god, the light balance, get down the light balance, and then when it comes back, it's like, why is it so dark? Go back. But no, so it was cool. So character creation, you can do all kinds of things, silly things. You can give them mohawks. You can make them have red skin. The good thing is they obviously also have things for non-binary and trans people in there as well. There's so much stuff, and unfortunately, I don't know if it was due to they couldn't get the game in time. Um, we didn't really get to play much. So there was kind of a trailer, there was the beer, and then there was the game character creation. But that's all they had.
Okay. All right.
So
So
it was a great night. It was
yeah.
probably one of the first big media things that we've had in Australia. So for anyone that's overseas, especially Melbourne, we were locked down for probably close to about 18 to 20 months of 2
Yeah.
years.
No, you were yeah, you guys went through, wasn't it the world's longest or something like that?
Champion,
I don't know
champion.
if it's a championish
Yeah, no, yeah.
territory. Don't know if it's a
Suck it.
championish territory, but yeah, it was quite a long stint
Oh,
for
it
you
was
guys.
hefty, man. It was something. It was a fun little time. But yeah, nah. So this is kind of so I've been to I think two Magic events where they limited to it about 10 or 11 people, and
Okay.
we had to had rats when we first get there. We had to wear masks through the whole event. But this is the first one that's kind of been mask free. And though I wore a mask because I still do, and I obviously rat tested and stuff like that before I went to ensure that I didn't have anything, and I've since got a PCR after.
Yeah.
It was just so nice. Like we were catching up with other content creators, streamers. I made a whole heap of new friends. Um, there was one streamer that I really got on well, which was the Power of Grit. So if you get a chance, go check out his YouTube. He's a funny dude. He's older than me, so he's 44, which is kind of nice. I was like, yes, not the oldest here. I'm not the grandpa, but he was just a cool guy. And I chatted to him and his friend. And then there was another YouTuber who was just an absolute champ. So he's like me. He's got a big ass head, bald like me, but he's about 6'2", 6'3", and he was telling me about custom hats because I can never wear a baseball cap because my head's too big. And he gets these custom or bigger size hats from America, which is cool. But his name, and I loved how he explained it. He's like, "Hi, I'm Duty," as in poop.
Yeah. Okay.
That was how he explained it to everyone. So on YouTube, his name is Duty, which is Dudi, and he was such a friggin' champ, and I loved him. And the best thing was just watching him up to everybody. And he's big dude, big beard, and he'd walk up and shake hands. He's like, "Oh, hi, I'm Duty," as in poop. And that's how he introduced himself. And it was like the gift that kept on giving. I'm like, I don't know if he originally meant to do that as a name.
Mhm.
Watching him walk around and talk to people and explain his name was the greatest thing ever, and I loved it. So yeah, but it was really nice. So I got to catch up with Diana from Attack on Geek. Met up with a whole heap of like PR people and stuff like that, and it was such a cool event. And it sounds weird, but as a Saints Row event, it wasn't great.
Yeah.
Like it
Well,
felt like it was more a beer event and a catch-up event.
than promoting a brand new video game and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Which
yeah.
was which was sad because this game has like a massive part of my heart. And to
Mm.
be fair, like I guarantee I'm going to buy this as soon as I come out. Even if I probably don't play it till about 6 months after it comes out, because when it comes to games, I'm shocking like that. But yeah, no, it was weird. Like it was a great catch-up event, and it was good to get to see everybody and catch up with them and meet some new upcoming streamers that have obviously like come up during COVID and stuff. But just for the game side of things, like it felt like it was more like a Moondog Brewery beer release.
Okay.
that also had ties to a game than actually the
Yeah,
game.
rather than for the game being first and foremost on the list. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I
But
mean
if you
yeah.
want to get a Keep It Strange Sainto, you can get them from their website, and it is only limited edition. So
Mhm.
it is kind of cool. Like I want to get one just for the can because the can's sick.
To be fair, there's a brewery in New Zealand that does like fancy artwork as well called Behemoth Brewing, and
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
they have loads of different of like they do loads of limited edition ones. My favorite one was my favorite one was the Ukraine edition. They did it as, and it was like half no yeah, if you bought the pack, it was like 60% of all the money goes to the Ukraine Relief Fund. You know,
Oh, that's
the
cool.
global one. But it's like the Behemoth Brewing come up with some brilliant names, and obviously the one of their major bases, the Ukraine one, was Russian warship go fuck yourself, because that was what was transmitted from Snake Island or
Yeah, yeah.
whatever that island was. But
So
yeah,
it's
the,
subtle. I like it.
they do so many weird and wonderful ones. Our favorite one is called Chur, because chur
Oh yeah.
is a slang term for thanks or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
It's a bit
Thanks.
of a I've never heard it until I moved here, and he's like chur, and I'm like, what? Excuse me.
Yeah, yeah. No. Luckily, I grew up with a lot of Kiwis, so I know that. But yeah, no, it's pretty much thanks and that. It's kind of cool, and or cheers in a way as well. They sometimes use it for like it's kind of interchangeable. But mate, looks like I'm gonna have to come to New Zealand just to see if this brewery is actually any good.
Oh yeah, I'll take it. They've
Yeah,
got
just an
a
excuse to
pub.
drink
They've
beer,
got a
guys.
pub
That's what it
restaurant
is.
called Churley's over in
Oh,
and I'll say occasionally like on the Facebook group they say, oh, we're having a sale sort of thing, and you can turn up and you can stuff a box, and it's like, oh, however many beers you're buying, it's like discounted by like half nearly and stuff. So yeah, so occasionally I do
yes.
that.
Dorks down under.
What we'll do, we'll skip on. Let's skip on to the next topic. Now, this is a topic that is something that me and Dez are actually, it seems like we're very passionate about.
Oh man.
So, for those of you who obviously may have Disney Plus, or I assume it's been released on, is it HBO Max as well, and all the probably released everywhere. But we recently both have watched Prey, the new Predator movie. Well, new as in setting in, was it 1701 or something? I can't remember.
Yeah, I suppose it's
Yeah.
Comanche Nation 300 years ago, according
Yeah.
to IMDb.
Yeah. So I have to say, obviously, you know, Predator as a franchise, I love Predator. I think it's really good. I grew up in the 90s where Predator Alien versus Predator game came out, and that was big as well. And so all these cool things. I have always liked Predator, but recently Predator has kind of had a bit of a bad rep because they've made some terrible movies.
Yeah.
There have been some very terrible movies and terrible decisions. Alien versus Predator, yeah, that wasn't good, and the sequel to it wasn't much better,
Yeah.
God.
Like it's weird though because especially with the Predator, like you got Arnie, all these army guys
Mm.
set in the jungle, and you're like, wow. And then you hear the second one's coming out, you're like, this is cool, and it's got Danny Glover, and I'm like, don't get me wrong, in that film, Danny Glover did amazing. Like without Danny Glover, that film would be horrible. But then they're like, let's set it in South Central LA. I'm like, excuse me?
Well, no, all right, controversial. I actually, from the original, I actually prefer Predator 2 over Predator 1.
Oh really?
Yes. Now I could feel the comments being time to go, what?
Yeah, there's just gonna be rage.
There's gonna
I think
be
I didn't hate it, and I think that Danny Glover did an amazing job, and I do think that legit he carried that film.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I was still also like, it just seems like a very, I don't know, it seems like a very weird setting to go from one to the other, and then pretty much set 90% of the other ones back in jungles or some kind of forest land.
I mean, obviously after that it was Alien vs. So hang on, so there's Predator, which is the original. That was good. Predator 2, awesome. AVP, I get what they were trying to do. I just kind of wish they hadn't set it on Earth in modern day. I think if they'd done it on another planet, sort of thing. You know, I didn't
Yeah.
like that they were you trying to. Oh no, we need human beings. No, you don't.
Yeah,
no, you don't.
100%.
You don't need us. It doesn't matter. So that those two were terrible.
Because I had high hopes for that. I thought the idea of having a predator versus a alien, I'm like, this is going to be sick as the ultimate battle. And then there were just like some random humans that were like co-starring in the background. I'm like, why did they really need to be there? I was like, you should have had this thing where it was this epic battle between two where they dropped the predator on the alien homeworld or from like a world infested with the aliens. And then they had to go bust heads. I'm like, that would have been so much cooler.
I mean, we know from the Alien franchise and laws that there are Xeno worlds where they've taken over a human colony and and then they've made the high. That would have been so cool. Do it that way. Do it as one of the elites, not these. Oh no, they gotta go earn their guns. No, no one cares. We want to see awesomeness. But then obviously there was Predators, which
before. So there was Alien versus Predator, then there was Alien versus Predator Requiem.
Yeah,
was in between.
We can skip that because that was god.
Yeah,
I mean, it was cool to have the Predalien, but it was terrible at the same time.
Yeah.
So I didn't enjoy that. Predators, I liked. I liked that. They've been hijacked. They've been okay, again, modern day humans. However, they've been hijacked and dumped on an alien world and blah blah blah.
Which I thought was cool. Like I won't lie. Like they had Robert Rodriguez, who I love, who was the director of that, and I love Adam. I love Robert Rodriguez. I think he's a great director. And then when they went, okay, cool. So I got Lawrence Fishburne in one of the title roles, which he kind of wasn't. But I kind of loved his character in it. Like he was more a supporting actor, but I kind of like it. You had Michelle Rodriguez, who is a badass.
Yeah, she was.
You had your mate from Venom. That what's his name? Topper Grace, I think it is. The weird sort of in it, he kind of played the weird kind of nerdy guy that kind of. The one that played in Tobey Maguire, and it was Venom. Is it Topper Grace? I think that was his name.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
A really weird, awkward dude.
The serial killer guy.
Yeah, who had just come from Venom, who you kind of at the start didn't really know.
Yeah, he plays Eddie Brock in Spider-Man.
Yeah, and then the weirdest one was the lead character, which was Adrian Brody, who obviously we haven't really known him for action. Like we've known him for like The Pianist and like Life is Beautiful and. Was it Life is Beautiful?
Yeah, he's done a load of really. I'm going to say the word artsy pizzas, and but he had a bit of a niche in there, and he was doing rather well. Fair play to him. Not every actor can do those sort of nice gentle roles as I call them. Yeah, but he does them quite well. But then when he turns up and he's this badass, I'm like, where did this come from?
I know, and then I was like, oh, okay. And then they had that that Brazilian actress, the real badass with the sniper. She was great too. I wish thing, but yeah, the weirdest thing was having him in the lead, and I was like, oh, like I don't know. I'm like, this is how you get Rodriguez, you get like a whole heap of big names, and then you have him as the lead, and I was like, I don't really have much. Like I'm not like he's a good actor, but is he gonna be like? That kind of action hero, be able to pull off that kind of believable kind of thing, and I kind of loved him in it.
Yeah, no, I love the Predators, the Predators movie. I like that one. It's really good, especially as it actually explains a bit more of Predator lore as well. So you have because there is the outcasts, what is it? I think they're called the outcasts of death, awesome, but they're a separate species.
Yeah,
sort of thing, and they hunt each other and stuff like that, and it's like, ooh, this is quite cool.
Yeah, because I think there was a predator, and then there was this genetically enhanced predator in that one.
No. That's no. Then the next movie after the Predators is the Predator.
Yeah.
Which doesn't obviously get confusing whatsoever.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, because there was a super predator, and then there was the weak outcast predator, and then
it was the outcast guy who brought the Predator killer suit to the human race to save us.
Oh, that's right.
And then they reveal it right at the end, and it doesn't. And then that's never going anywhere. That information. It was it was kind of terrible.
You know what that reminded me of? It kind of reminded me of when they went, okay, the Mummy we really liked The Rock as a Scorpion King, so they released a Scorpion King movie. They didn't do too bad, but didn't do great. And then they released the next 3 or 4 Scorpion King movies with some other random dude.
Yeah.
That's what the Predators felt like for me personally.
Yeah, the Predator movie. I mean, in terms of I don't even really like the storyline that much either. I think it's quite cool though. Yeah, there's a band of guys who get together to stop and kill the thing and blah blah. I enjoyed that bit, but it's this alien race is genetically altering themselves to become better killers. Well,
isn't the whole emphasis of the Predators coming to this world and taking out these people, trying to get them to learn to become better killers? So why would they
it was
do the exact same thing?
It's kind of a terrible movie. I just didn't enjoy it. I really didn't enjoy it. But then obviously they've just released Prey.
You want to hear something funny though?
Yeah.
When I first saw this pop up, I was like, "Oh, cool! Native American versus some kind of big monster. I'm gonna watch it. This looks cool." I didn't actually know it was a Predator film.
Well, you see, I was the opposite. I heard about it and I was like, oh, God. I was like, can we stop flogging the dead horse, please? I thought, this is going to be terrible. But I thought, I'm one of these guys, I'll happily watch it and see what it's like. I waited until it was on streaming to watch. And I watched it and, oh my God, it is immense.
Oh,
they actually did it correctly. I was so happy.
But you know what also I love about this film is just the nuance of it. Like, it has been handled with such care, and it's just been given this thing where it's like, okay, we're going to focus on the characters, we're going to focus on the Predator, we're going to focus on the world, and then evolve them all together, rather than being like, these guys are killers, this guy's a Predator, just have them fight. Where this added a whole heap of depth and culture to it.
Yeah.
This added a whole heap of understanding. Like when they brought in, was it the French or the English?
Yeah, they were they're French poachers, which was very well known at the time. They would go over there and they were killing lots of animals to get the pelts to then sell back in Europe and stuff like that. So yeah.
But yeah, just the way they were able to tie in, like obviously the Comanche culture, and you actually you really got invested in the characters. So towards the end, when obviously the Predator and her were going 1v1, you felt really like you were really feeling for her. And I think that's where they've lost it at a few of these places, where they've kind of just gone elites, throw them together, see who wins kind of thing.
I mean, I know that there were several people online who said, hang on, how can this one little girl, but they were going off on these tangents about, we have all these badass modern day machine guns and all, and it's like, no, but and people have to say, look, it's a very different time. Back in the 1700s, you had to learn to be a hunter, so you learned to be aware of your environment and surroundings. Whereas, like, the guys, in the original Predator movie were on a CIA ops mission in the forest, in the jungle. They're not jungle specialists, so why would they know?
But and also, and you're right. Like, and that's the thing, and it was beautifully done because you actually got to also understand some of the Comanche culture. And learn how they did it. Obviously, learnt where she was coming from. I also love, like, obviously, in the first one, Arnie put mud on himself. In the other one, they hid on the snow and they different things, and they realised that because of the heat, they could lower their body temperature. But what I found really fascinating was when they started talking about this herb to help them, and then when obviously this guy got attacked by what they thought was a bear, he obviously gave him this stuff so he's lower his body temperature, which would thicken his blood, so he's less likely to bleed out. And then she discovers that it can't see certain things based on this herb because it lowers their core temperature. Yeah. But it didn't feel forced. Like with some of the other ones, I felt like it kind of felt forced, or it was just kind of added in towards the end. Where this one just had this nice organic feel to it. Where
it was funny because you're watching it like when she's obviously she's trying to track it, and then she gets stuck in the mud. You're like, okay. This is how she's going to find out that the mud camos there and all this. But then nothing ever happens with that. And it's like,
exactly.
Oh, okay. It's like, hang on a minute.
Too.
Is it not going to come by and she's not going to, it was just so weird. But I'll tell you one thing. I loved the way that the Predator obviously is 300, although it's advanced technology, it was quite primitive. So, like, obviously it had, instead of having the laser cannon, fire, the shoulder cannon, it has a spike, essentially a javelin launcher. Homing javelin launcher, but I thought, this is quite cool. I quite like this. You
And
know,
I won't lie, the bit that I did like that just kind of went, it kind of made it feel more like a Predator movie, was that stupid net thing that they throw and then just closes off
oh
around
yeah.
him.
Well, no, well we've seen that net technology before.
Oh
I think it
no,
was
but we have, but that's what I'm
yeah.
saying though. But I love that that bit was like, though all his weapons had kind of changed, where he had that cool badass kind of like Captain
Oh, the
America shield
shield. The
and
shield's good.
stuff.
Yeah.
But they kind of did that little throwback where this is still in there, that net, because it was it. And I also love how they did it, where they threw it on the ground and you see the guy get encapsulated in, then you see it, and then it comes through, and then all you see is this wood splinter.
Mm.
You don't actually see the guy die. So, like, obviously, I mean, some people probably wanted to see blood and guts, but I like that they did it that way because it kind of showed you what it was.
Mm.
You got the effect because of all the wood splintering, and it just went. It kind of was like, oh, I like that, because when you saw him use his weapons, like the spear thing, and stuff, you're like, oh, that's what the laser gun becomes. This is what this becomes, and you can kind of see where they've tied it in, but you can see that the text come down. But that net gun was just like, oh, that's kind of cool.
It was quite good seeing because I've seen obviously on TikTok there's some behind the scenes footage has popped up online now, and I've seen it being shared around, and you actually see the guy. They actually had the guy in the full suit doing
Oh
it.
wow.
Yeah, and it's just like it's nice. I think that's the reason why I enjoy it more now. It's like going back to old school filming. You know, all right, well, we can't see. They CGI'd obviously the shield and all that jazz, obviously,
Yeah.
but they have a physical guy there, and then they obviously did a bit of VX enhancements. To make it more believable, but it's just like cool, I thought it was
But it was,
really
yeah,
good.
like, and it felt like that though. Like, it felt so organic. The way that the film was just paced as well was quite beautiful. Where obviously you see the poor lead girl get attacked by the lion, and she gets a bit sick, and then obviously he does these things. Like, it didn't just feel like it was just like, we're going to introduce these characters, give you a little bit of backstory of them, send them out and start killing them.
Yeah.
It had like a more of a flow to it, and I liked that. I really did, and I loved the pacing, and I liked that the Predator, though he was in it kind of a little bit at the start, it was more about getting to know the characters, getting to feel this. But I also think this is going to open the door to so many things that we could do in this kind of thing. Like,
Well, yeah. Funnily enough, everyone. I mean, the one of the other things that's been doing the rounds, and I sent you this TikTok, didn't I? Where
yeah,
someone was like, "Right, okay, everyone likes prayer, or the majority of people like prayer," and everyone's like, "Well, hear me out. Feudal Japan,
yeah,
samurai," and literally, this guy rattles off the entire thing, and when Master's house is burnt down and he's died
yeah,
to the
no,
predator
yeah, I
or
remember
something
it, yeah,
like that,
because
and
yeah, it was 1100s Japan,
yeah.
and what happened was it was him. He was a Ronin because his master had been killed. So before he was going to kill himself, he was going to hunt this thingo.
Yeah.
And then there was him and a young boy, and the predator had come down with like a boy to train him, and the boy killed one predator. And then, oh man, it
Yeah.
just sounded cool. And
Literally,
even the
yeah. It's literally. I mean, I literally heard it and I was sold. I was like, yes,
I would pay money for that.
yes.
If
It's
you
like,
have to crowdfund that, I will give money for that.
yeah. I mean, it would be a good sort of. I think it's. I mean, either I think when you want to say if I want to see Predators movies now, I'm kind of like, yeah, either go distant past
Yeah,
or stick it in the future. One
yeah,
or the other. I don't want modern day time sort of thing. I understand what they're trying to do when they do put it modern day, because like, oh look, we're gonna tie it in with the Weyland Yutani Corporation and how they start to develop, and then they're trying to tie it with aliens. I get that, but it's
yeah.
like just one or the other.
Yeah, I know, and I think, and that's the thing though. I also don't think that you necessarily need to have humans in it.
Yeah. Oh no,
I mean,
definitely.
if you
Oh.
go, if you go future, why not go proper future where maybe the Predator homeworld got attacked, or maybe they go into this world to try to do this? Like, I think we could do anything. But you think about it, you go Japan, you could go Vikings, you could go like ancient Egypt, you could go like Attila the Hun kind of thing. There, Alexander the Great style. There is so many things. Like, you could literally go, okay, Attila the Hun got to China, but maybe when he got to China, it wasn't actually the Great Wall of China that stopped him.
Yeah,
It
maybe,
was
maybe,
it was the
yeah,
Predator.
maybe a
Or
predator saw and was like impressed and wanted to get his head as a trophy. Yeah, it could have
like
been.
like there's so many things you could do, and there's so many things in history that you can go back on and just devolve or evolve the Predator
Mm,
based on what it is.
mm,
And it really does lend itself to so much. Like the Japanese one that guy rattled off from that TikTok is amazing. Like I was like, I'll pay money for this right now. I'm like, I will buy a streaming service just to see this movie. That's how good it
Yeah.
sounded.
It would be
And
sweet. I mean, and then stick it in. You don't even have to have it. Although I understand why they had, like pray obviously in English. Obviously, although that they couldn't. And then when the French are talking, she can't understand because they're speaking French to her.
yeah,
So apart from that one guy who's learned other languages, so I thought that was quite clever.
yeah. But even then, when they all fired upon the Predator with their muskets, and then they just kind of went, and you see about 17 shots go up, and he brings up that cool little shield that sort of like, kind of almost looks like a Percy Jackson shield where it goes,
yeah,
and comes
actually,
up kind
Percy,
of thing.
Yeah, Percy Jackson's shield. I was just trying to think.
And that's exactly what it was. And then they obviously block a few shots, and his arm is able to do it. But obviously, his arm is also not perfect. But like the fact that he's able to do that, and then obviously they all have to reload, and that's when they go, "Oh crap!" And he's like, "Okay, it's my killing Christmas now. Let's do this." But there was just so many different, like the flow of it with the high points and the low points, and then just the way they developed the characters. But it never felt slow. Like you never felt like, oh, I'm just sitting through a crappy, boring story. It all seemed to have these kind of like really nice speeds of it. I found, and the balance of this movie.
Personally, for speed, I found the first 20 minutes a bit. It was like, okay, because obviously you have your start, middle, and end, standard story rule telling, and the start for this one was a bit. How are they going to do this? Because the problem is like I don't know how they're going to introduce the Predator, but obviously they introduced it quite well, sort of thing.
Yeah.
That it's there and it's hunting species to find which is the strongest. So you could tell that immediately. So once you start working that out, you're like, oh, okay, I've got it now. But it took a little time for me to get there personally.
But I also like how they tied in there, obviously the Comanche and them hunting, and obviously seeing where they rank in obviously their warrior standard, and how was it her brother or
her brother
friend?
Yeah.
Her brother was like the head hunter, and I think the way they handled him as well when he came back for her and stuff, I thought that was really cool. There were just so many elements that I think they tied in very nicely without feeling full. And like you said, that mud bit, I was like, that mud bit's going to
Here we go. Yeah, he's going to, the Predator's going to come
And when they
back.
didn't, I was like, okay. And I'm like, I honestly think they've put that bit in purely for that bit to pretty much go, this is what old fans are going to think. We're going to flip it on its head.
Yeah.
I just think it was amazing.
Yeah,
absolutely amazing.
I think it was great as well. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, so Prey, great movie. Love it. Up there.
It could honestly be my top movie of the year.
Yeah, I hope they see the good responses and they go, well, maybe we could try, a different one. So maybe a different timeline. But I like how they obviously try to tie it with at the very end where the gun she's got from Matey Boy is the same gun that Danny Glover gets given.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's the same gun.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, well, when I saw that, I thought, hang on, I bet that's the gun. And then someone also confirmed that, going, yeah, this is the gun. So, which means that the Predators come back. Because obviously when we know from Predator thing is I think it was brought up in The Predators, in Predators. They're saying that if they get killed, that's when the Predator race gets interested. Like, ooh, who did it? And then they go where they develop new strategies and new technology, and then they come back again, sort of thing. So
I didn't know that. That's actually so cool. Actually, you've kind of got that. Oh man, that is actually really a great way of doing it.
It was just a little. I think that was the little teaser to the sequel. So we had the mud scene from the original. We had the mud scene for the original movie. Then the gun is tying the sequel. And
that's clever.
Yeah, it was quite good. I quite like
and then
that.
they're going to have this one to tie in the Predator, and then the Predators were just going to pretend like it never happened. That's just.
But it will be interesting, definitely.
I must say, Amber, I think it's Amber Mid Thunder, the girl that they've got to play the lead role in this, is absolutely brilliant.
Oh, she did a great job.
Oh my god! And obviously, she is American Indian. Her background is Native American. She's been in quite a few things. She was in Legion, if you ever saw that, a TV series.
Who's she playing Legion?
Yeah, so, and she has been in a few things here and there, but I feel like this is her big lead, like her first big lead. And I was hella impressed. Like, I feel like we need to watch her because there's going to be some big things. I think she's also in the new Roswell series as well.
Amber Mid Thunder. Here we go. Sorry, I'm looking her up now because I'm trying to remember who she played. Let's see. Legion, Kerry Loudmilker. I can't remember her. I can't remember her. That's weird.
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
But yeah, she was completely badass. I do like that they've obviously done this one, and a lot of the American Indians or a lot of the Native Americans that they have in there are actual Native Americans from their heritage. So it really does just... it's really nice to see that. And yeah, she was amazing, and I was like, wow, like... And I'm loving seeing, like, especially nowadays, there seems to be a lot of movies where they're going to have like strong female leads, and I like that. I think we need more of that, and I do think that this film has to be, for me, probably I reckon it'd be close to my top film of the year, if not the top.
I think so far, definitely. I mean, going to be interested to see Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, and because that's possibly going to have a strong female lead at the moment. It's a bit rumor mills going around about that of who's going to be.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of rumors going around about
a lot of rumors of who's donning the suit. So yeah, that's going to be interesting to see. But yeah. So anyway, so
you know who I want? I want it to be the random white guy from that plays the Hobbit. I just want him to just randomly come out.
Martin, not Martin Sheen. I forgot his name now.
Yeah.
He plays Watson. He plays Watson as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, and he's from the Hitchhiker's Guide and stuff.
Oh, God's sakes, what's his name?
I just want him to come out in the Wakanda suit and then just throw a white towel over his shoulder.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Martin Freeman. That was it. I knew it was Martin. That's it. I knew it was Martin. It was
that would just throw everybody, and then would probably kill Black Panther in itself. It's like, yeah, no.
I don't think it will be. No, definitely. But no, yeah, that was good.
That's my rumor mill. Please take it as a grain of salt because I can almost guarantee you that I'm 100% right.
And if he gets it right, he'll never let any one of us forget it. If he does get it correct,
if I get it down, every one of these, every listener that we have, and everyone that likes a video, will get a T-shirt that just says Freeman for Black Panther.
Freeman for Black Panther. Oh, that'd be interesting.
That would also cost me a fortune. So please, don't get it, Martin.
Everyone, please, we will need a bankrupt Dez.
How funny would that be? Like, oh god, they're just like, oh, can you do me a deal? I need 100,000 T-shirts. Why? Because I'm an idiot.
I'm an idiot. I said something stupid.
And it was recorded, so now I'm an idiot on camera, and now I've got to buy people freedom for Black Panther.
But obviously, when I said I wanted to bring up the topic of anime, you were like, yeah, cool. And I went, okay, why do you not want to discuss it? And you were like, well, I don't really watch anime.
I don't watch it, and I don't like. I get that people love it. Like, I've got a lot of friends that love it. Like as I mentioned before, Miss Deus Geek, who's a friend of mine, Diana, loves it. And other than seeing, like, I think it was like Ponyo and like the Wandering Castle, whatever that's called.
Howl's Moving Castle.
Yeah, that. And I'm like, they're kind of cool, but anime I don't get. And I think because, speaking of Dragon Ball, the first anime that I really saw was in a morning, which was like Dragon Ball. And it would kind of, like, I watched it one morning when I was sick, and I was just like, I'll watch it. And it's like, previously on last episode. And it's like, Goku and Thingo go to meet this man. This aliens come down from a Thingo. He's floating, no. And it goes on for like 12 minutes. And then it's like, and then like Goku would be like, who are you? He's like, I'm Frieza. Coming up next week, will this Mystery Man do this? And I'm like, it was 27 seconds of actual footage. Oh. And then what happened was 3 months afterwards, I got sick again, watched it, and they're just like, and then Frieza literally said, and I quote, enough of this talking, and then they started to fight. And then as soon as they flew off together each other, on next episode, I'm like, so you've been talking for 3 months, and now you're about to have a fight, and then you cut just before the fight, and I'm like, so what the?
Right. Okay. Right. First off, I mean, when I got into animation, my first anime was Pokemon. That was my first ever experience of Japanese animation, and I love Pokemon. The The original series was great. I then watched the majority of the next series, which I think was the Orange Islands. I think it was. I can't remember off the top of my head. And then I kind of dipped in and dipped out from there because obviously life takes over. You don't have time to, and it was hard. And this is before
I turned 12, and then life took over.
No, because then you have life happening, and then and this we're talking about back in the 90s. There was no streaming services, so it's like if I missed it on TV, I didn't get to watch it.
Previously on last episode,
and it's like,
here goes the last 7 months of whatever just happened.
But then when I got a bit older, I found Dragon Ball Z. And I liked it because obviously it's fast, it's punchy. All that, anime is great because your show is about at maximum 25 minutes long. So it's like
it's 12 minutes of what happened last week and what happened this week. That's actually a minute
in Dragon Ball's issue, especially Dragon Ball Z's issue, is they had a ton of filler episodes, especially in the Frieza saga.
Because I think I saw the Frieza saga, and then like 2 years later, there were 2 androids or aliens.
Apparently, I think someone. No, then there's it goes from the Frieza saga to the Cell saga, and which is the Android saga. That's good. I enjoyed that. And then it goes to Majin Buu saga after that. And I've watched them all. I've even watched the original. I mean, the original Dragon Ball's good. That's quite pacey. It doesn't have as many filler episodes, which is good.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z has a few too many filler episodes, but then they kind of got that course corrected properly when they did Dragon Ball Super, which is like the latest version where Goku's older, a bit more older and wiser, and his kids and Gohan's now grown up and he's a dad now and stuff like that. So it's
I don't know. I think they've kind of it for me.
They've kind of paced it out a bit better as it's gone on. I think the problem is the Dragon Ball Z came out and like, oh great, we can make more episodes, or they were kind of pushed to make the more episodes you can churn out, the more you probably get paid properly, and it's like. I think someone actually worked it out that if you take all the actual fighting bits of when he's fighting Frieza the first time, there's there's actually only 11 minutes, but there's like 40 episodes.
Because there was 5 episodes a week here, and they would play in the morning at about 7:30 ish. So that's why I was able to watch it when I was sick. But the weirdest thing is I can't remember who told me. It might have been a mate of mine who we call Wombat, because he's really into anime. But Wombat was saying that there's a YouTube video where somebody's taken all the little bits and put them together into like a big episode. But it doesn't run as long as the 14 years that the other one ran for.
Yeah, no, that's not surprising. I mean, as I say, Dragon Ball Z is, if your first anime is Dragon Ball Z, it's like, oh, you've been robbed. It's like, that's not the best one to jump in at. I mean, I'm actually going to challenge you. I'm going to send you the link to the streaming site I use to watch anime. Because at the moment, I'm watching a show called Overlord, which I actually think you will quite like. Overlord is about this guy who plays an MMORPG. So basically like World of Warcraft. And he's like, his guild is like the top level, but the game's servers are getting shut down because it's there's people have moved on. And he's logged on, and he's like, oh, I'm just gonna stay online until they shut the server down, which is understandable, because I remember playing World of Warcraft days and playing until I get kicked out of the server, at daft o'clock because they need to update it for X event.
Yeah, the good thing is that it happens now I think it's every Tuesday or Wednesday. Yeah. Tuesday, I think, and it happens perfect because I think the last podcast that I did, which was with obviously MP Numbers and Food Time, that you appeared on quite a few times, we did on a Tuesday for the simple reason that I think it was about 8, 9 o'clock because we used to play WoW together as well. But what would happen is the servers would shut down. So we're like, let's do the podcast Tuesday because the servers are going to shut down anyway.
Yeah, and we're all online and job done. Yeah.
So we may as well just do that. And that was literally, so when people are like, oh, what days do you do? We're like, Tuesday. They're like, how come? And we tried to make up some cooler reason at why, but it was literally just that the WoW servers were down. So we're like, we'll play it.
But basically what happens with this guy is suddenly the server shuts down, but the time continues, and he realizes that he's an undead lich lord in the game. And he's been transported to this world, and he's still the character. And the guild so all the NPCs are suddenly alive, and they can talk and think and move for themselves without being commanded. and he doesn't know how he got transported. It wasn't like he was in the middle of casting a great spell. Suddenly he's just there. But the problem is that he's so overpowered because he's level in the game. He was level 100, which is the cap, and he's like, and he's trying to basically he's trying to find out if there's any other players trapped in the world with him. But it's really interesting. It's really a good show. It's so sweet. But the problem is that he comes to terms with one. Obviously, he's a human. Obviously he's a human. But now he's an undead lich, and there's an outside force controlling him, and so suddenly he can't be too emotional, or he gets reset. So he gets like emotionally reset. If he gets too hyped up, angry, or aggressive, suddenly because he's an undead lich, they don't get angry, upset, or thing like that. So suddenly there's this like outside force drags him back into a calm state, and he's like, "This is weird and confusing." But yeah. But it's quite a good anime. I actually think you would quite enjoy it because it's obviously.
I'm intrigued. I'm confused.
It's good. I mean, they've just started
a streaming service. I can just hit fast forward through the intro. Previously on the.
Okay, no, there's the skip intro button. Don't worry. You can do the skip intro button.
Oh, thank the God.
But yeah, it is. They don't have previously because each episode follows on from each other, so they don't do a recap. Bit.
Yeah, but Dragon Ball Z did that, and I was
no. So that's one anime I think you would quite like. The other anime I think you would enjoy, but it's a bit of a commitment. It's called Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which is about how these people basically they're called alchemists who can. They use these magic powers to to make things happen, and they use the magic and stuff. It's a bit of a weird thing, but it's all about like gods and all this jazz. It's very strange. You have to literally watch like the first 5 or 6 episodes, and then suddenly you're on. You want to know what's going on, sort of thing. But
because at the moment it kind of sounds like Captain Planet with gods.
It's hard to explain it.
Wind,
but there's quite a few episodes, but there's also some very horrible things that happen. Like there was a TikTok sound ages ago called "It's just an anime, it can't be that sad," and then there's something that happens in this series to a little girl and a dog, and it is horrifying.
Oh God. I'm still trying to come to terms with I Am Legend when the dog dies. Man, that was so sad. Like when Will Smith had to pretty much put down the dog because he turned into a zombie. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
he was his best friend. Damn it.
But yeah, so in terms of anime, I'm going to send you the link to the spot I use, and then I recommend watch the first couple of episodes of Overlord to see what you think. But it's quite good. I quite enjoy it. So that's going to be my challenge for you. One of my little challenge for you. But,
oh no!
What? Join us, Dez. Join us, Dez.
No,
yes.
I know.
Hell, it's not like I'm asking you to start watching One Piece, which is currently on 1,064 episodes or something like that.
Yeah. But you have to watch all of it before next episode.
It's one of these things. One of my colleagues at work, him and his girlfriend have they decided on New Year's Day that they're going to start watching it because they both enjoy watching anime and stuff like that. And they said, "Oh, we're going to watch One Piece." And they started watching it, and I said, "Oh my God, how far are you through?" He said, "We're up into we just passed episode 1,000." And I said, "When did you start New Year's Day?" I said, "You've been watching it for 8 months." He said,
"Wow,
yeah, honestly, we have binges of it because obviously they're 20 minutes long, and this is the thing I find about anime is that if you find a show that you enjoy watching, suddenly it's like, oh." I'll watch an episode and then suddenly it's like it's been 3 hours now and I'm nearly finished the season of whatever.
What I call the Netflix experience, where you're like, "Oh, just be it's only 10 o'clock. So if I watch the next episode, it'll be 10:20. I'll be able to brush my teeth and be in bed by 10:30." 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah. Crap. Yeah, no, it is. I think anime, especially if you have access, it's the one reason at the moment. Obviously, the Overlord anime is getting released on a weekly because it's the latest season's obviously just come out. Yeah. And it kills me that I have to wait a week. I was like, watch an episode, and then I have to wait another week.
Yeah, see, I have a habit of just being like, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try not to listen to everybody talk about it, and then at the very end, just binge watch all of it because I just find it's a lot easier to get into the show for me with that. But Yeah, 8 months of watching an anime. That is
Yeah, and they're
that's
still not
commitment.
even finished yet, and there's still
Yeah.
more episodes coming out. And there's with One Piece, I think there's got 11 movies as well, which all tie into the anime. So you've got to stop at a certain point,
Not to
go
watch the
watch
movie
this movie, to then
because it was.
come back, because otherwise things don't make sense apparently.
Yeah, I can just see it. It's like, so Derek, what have you done this week? Next episode, I'm like, oh, I've just got a subscription to. Is it Crunchyroll or whatever it is?
Yes,
That
Crunchyroll's
stream.
one of the major ones. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I just got a subscription to that, and yeah, I'm now up to my seventh anime. Man, I don't want to get into anime. I'm into too
Oh
much
no,
stuff as it
it's
is.
it's one of those things of I enjoy watching anime just 'cause it's my little guilty pleasure. But it's like watching But the same thing, I enjoy watching Pokemon and stuff like that. It's like when the what was the last one? Sun and Moon. It was on
Yeah, I don't know.
Netflix, and it was when he's in the Aloha region, and I ended up binge watching the entire thing of that because I was like, oh, I'll just put an episode or two on, it's something to have on in the background, and then next thing you know is I'm actually physically watching it, and I'm not paying attention to whatever else I was doing.
Oh man, yeah, no, because I found with especially with Pokemon Go, when Pokemon Go was first done, I didn't really know a lot about Pokemon. Like I knew little bits here and there that I've seen on social media, and my one of my good mates Oz is doing all the Pokemon on this what is it, this cross stitch thing.
Okay.
So when you actually have a look at it, he's probably done it's probably close to 45 Pokemon.
All right.
But we don't realize is they're about that big each Pokemon.
Mm.
And when he unsprawls this what I'm going to call a tapestry now, it's honestly about 6 to 8 feet long.
Yeah.
And he's kind of got like a little bit sort of semi-famous for doing it on these like cross stitch websites and stuff.
Mm.
And what he does is he takes photos every so often, then he'll do a bit. And what he actually does is he posts like these gifs of him going through it of what he's done over the last few
Yeah.
months. And then he tacks it on. And I won't lie, like I've seen it in person finally after, because he started it during COVID.
Yeah.
And I finally seen it. I'm like, this is actually sick.
Mm.
So because he was into that, he when it first came out, he went bananas. I managed to get a media key for it to get early access. I was like, yeah, cool, I'll give it a go, because a few people were talking about it, and then Oz was mad at it. So he's like my Pokemon friend now.
Yeah.
And now you're number two, obviously. But yeah, like they were obsessed with it, and then he got really into it. And then at the time, my housemate at the time, Zoe, wasn't working, so she started going for it to the point where there were days where she would borrow my phone while I'm at work, so that she could go battle gyms with two people and go collect Pokemons for two people, like. And then we'd go out on the weekend and occasionally be like, oh, cool. And we're sitting at a cafe catching Pokemon and stuff. And I got really, really into it. And then obviously after a little while, like a lot of things I kind of went, yeah. But that is literally my entire Pokemon knowledge is from that game.
Yeah. No, I mean, I remember it coming out in the UK, and I had Pokemon Blue, on Game Boy. I miss my Game Boy. I used to love that thing. I was obsessed with. I became obsessed, and then obviously the trading cards came out, the anime was on, and it was just so. I went down a massive rabbit hole. That's where my love of trading cards started.
Yeah.
And then of course, I wish I could have gone back in time. If I can go back in time and tell younger Jordan what to do, it would go out and buy all those magic packs from back in the day. Because I used to just avoid them, and I'm like, I could have made so much money if I held on to these by now. It would be ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. Like even like the half decent card I would have got, I'd be like, damn it.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, to be fair, also I had a massive Pokemon card collection as well, and I think my mum threw them out when I went to uni and stuff like that, and now I think about how much money that was potentially lost.
Well, that's the weird thing is,
I do believe I had foil Charizard as well.
Oh, God.
I think I do vaguely remember having a foil Charizard. I don't know how good a condition it was, but
it still would have been worth more money than probably most of your Magic collection, which is scary.
Well, I don't know. My Magic collection is not too bad.
Actually, your Magic collection is actually pretty epic.
I haven't checked the price of my Legacy Sliver deck for a while. I'm terrified to, because Yeah, my wife. I think if
He's,
Ellie,
he's
I
like,
think
I'm
if Ellie
terrified
finds,
too.
I
And
think
then
if
tell
Ellie
my
finds out,
wife.
she'll make me sell it.
Yeah, I was gonna say yeah, and then tell my wife because then it's like, oh, we're buying a house with your deck. No.
No, no, it's not that bad. Not that bad.
Okay.
Oh God, no, no. It's not that bad.
That'll be funny. But yeah, no, like, and it's weird too though because obviously Pokemon kind of went down and Magic's always kind of been more the premium one.
Mm.
But obviously people like Logan Paul and stuff kind of really bought the
Well,
Pokemon cards to
it's
the
one of
point where
these
it's
it's one of
ridiculous
these
money.
things now, isn't it? Where like obviously I think Pokemon Resurgence came back because YouTube celebrities got in
Yeah.
on the game because suddenly they realized, hang on a minute, I can put money onto this one bit of cardboard and it keeps going up in value because of the rarity of it. But then again, that was happening for years in Magic.
Yeah, I know.
It was this is the reason why there's a reserve list and all this jazz because finance. Suddenly people were buying. Millionaires were actually investing, buying old Magic products and storing them because it's a lot more.
Kids, if you're listening, that's what NFTs were before NFTs.
Yes. Oh, don't get me started with NFTs. Oh no, we ranted about NFTs last time. But yeah, no, it's one of these things that finance wise. I admit I've got like sealed product here and there. I mean, as we see, I've got that's Iconic Masters, we've got Double Masters, we've got a Jumpstart box there. What else? Oh yeah, I got that. I found this on Trade Me. So original Portal, Magic the Gathering Portal 3.
I don't
Magic.
even know what that is.
It's one of the very old sets, but it's got boosters in there, so it's probably worth a bit. I've got one of the SCD Comic Con exclusive ones from a couple of years ago as well.
I was going to say, my problem is that I enjoy opening them way too much. I think the only thing I've got at the moment, which I didn't realise and I kind of forgot I didn't open, was I got the giant, that Mimic for the latest.
Yes, I did see you showed me that. That looked awesome.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. And I didn't realise, but I got a bundle with it.
Did you?
And
cool.
The little 10-pack bundle things.
Yeah.
And it's just sitting there and I've realised I haven't opened it and I'm looking at it right now going, I should open that. I don't know. I like the idea of opening cards, but I'm like, I don't care that much about whether I open cool stuff or whether I open crap stuff. Like even keeping them sometimes. Like I think just before I moved, a couple of years ago, maybe 5 years ago, I just threw out like a whole heap of stuff that I had, like all the commons and uncommons, because I'm like, yeah.
Oh, I donated. I had a big clear out about a year ago, and I had like a massive it must have been easily 3,000-4,000 cards, maybe even 5, and I just found there was a guy who's wanting some donations for a school gaming group. I said, do you want about this much? And I sent her the photos and she went, oh my god, yes please. And I said, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't
me
really do
dealing with
much with them. And then, as you know, I don't play that much. So, I kind of, there'll be a few things where I'm like, I really want to make this deck, so I'll buy some of the base cards, and then I'll buy a few other ones. But I don't know, I enjoy opening the packs. And, recently my brothers got really into, basketball cards and NFL cards and hockey cards and all this stuff. But there's this place in Werribee, which is called The Traders, which is probably about maybe half an hour, 40 minutes from my house. But you can go there and they've got cards from the 80s and 90s. They aren't worth much, but they're $2 or $3 each. So sometimes I just go there and just be like, here's $50, just give me $50 worth of random packs. And the guys are amazing there. They're absolutely amazing. They've got the brand new cards where you buy a small booster box, but there's a chance of opening a $20,000 card, but it costs you 15. My brother just bought a baseball one recently that has 6 cards in it for $400.
Okay.
Yeah, but a lot the pack that he had has Game War memorabilia in the cards. They're signed,
Right.
but it's not uncommon now for there's actually got it's so weird compared to when I collected baseball cards back in the day. Sorry, basketball cards back in the day where they actually have. This box will always have at least one signed card in there.
Yeah.
And then they've got all these cool things, but the amount of money is ridiculous in this. But I go there and I'm like, yeah, cool. And then I open up a few cards because I obviously watch American football, love it, played it, have a passion for it. So I open it and I get to see a whole heap of players from the 80s and 90s where I grew up. And it's amazing and I love it. I open packs and then the cards just disappear. But for me, it's more about opening the packs. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I described this quite well. Funnily enough, I noticed this especially with obviously new Magic players. Is you have a cracker pack addiction when you first get into it.
Yeah, 100%.
And admittedly, I had it as well. I mean, I would buy packs and I could not resist just cracking and getting them straight open and stuff like that. But of course, I was smart enough that when I obviously I was doing it for the YouTube, so I was like, oh no, I have to buy it, I have to go home and I have to film it, because the amount of times I was opened a pack that I should have opened on stream and I didn't record it, and it was the sickest thing ever. You know, it was a great. If I opened up a booster box and I didn't record it, it was an amazing booster box. And it's like, why wasn't I recording this?
Yeah.
So I kind of forced myself to not be immediate. But also the downside of that is that I've collected so much sealed product that I probably need to start downsizing some of it at some point. Obviously, because I'm moving into my new house soon, and I probably need to get rid of some of it because I can't have it all out on display, sort of thing. But yeah, it's
You can. You just need to buy an extra bedroom. That's all it is.
no. My wife won't let me take a bedroom anymore. No, I have an office. If it doesn't fit in the office, or funnily enough, in my office, I got a sweet deal on some nano leaves.
Oh,
panel.
yeah, they're cool, eh?
Yeah, the only thing that was missing was the rhythm module, but luckily I could get for like $20 from No Leaming, so I've ordered
it's pretty inexpensive.
I was like belter. So I'm gonna have in my new office. I'm gonna have beautiful thing behind me, lit up sort of thing.
And every time he talks, it's just going to change colours, and it's going to be so distracting.
I'll have it on normal mode for when we record, but it's gonna be good.
Ah,
But yeah,
no, those things, like I won't lie, I've seen some cheap ones out there, and there is a massive difference between them. Like,
yeah, I was debating this. I was saying to Ellie, because they was like, well, what's the difference between you buying this one at this deal or another brand? I said, well, Nanoleaf's known, tested, quality is the foremost. Whereas I could go to this other brand, but I'm gonna have to spend about $500 to get 15 panels. Whereas I only paid $400 for this one. And she's like, well, just go for if you know Nanoleaf are good, go with that one. At least you know you're investing in it and stuff like that. And this guy, literally, they're in in fact, I've got them right here.
Here's one I prepared earlier, people.
They're still in the box, pretty much. He had them set up a little bit, but he hasn't used all the panels. So it's like practically brand new. And I'm like, $400. If I was to buy this on online, it would cost me about $700 worth. Yeah, because it's Nanoleaf, and it's a well-known, trusted brand, and blah blah blah.
I was gonna say, fingers crossed, the gentleman's still there, but there's one of the guys works for a PR firm that I deal with for my website. And they actually do Nanoleafs, and he's like, bro, let me know when you move into your new house, and I'll give you some. I'm like, okay. I'm like, that is sick.
Yeah.
I'm like, so if he's still there, fingers crossed. But like, I could be getting some, but they are so cool. Like, I know here, like, you can get some cheap ones from like Kmart and Target to them, I think. And there was a couple of other stores that do them. I think you can probably buy a few on AliExpress and stuff. But when you see them, you can really tell the difference. Like, you can see like the actual LEDs in them. You can see that like a lot of it's just not the same. And I think there's a reason why Nanoleaf is literally an industry leader, because it is like the quality is insane.
Yeah,
and
I mean, when it
does cost a lot.
I'll tell you now, the only thing that was annoying me was because obviously I wanted to test that they worked. Because being an old man buying things from another person, I was like, I'll test these immediately.
Yeah, he's dodgy. It's got to be dodgy.
It's got to be dodgy. It's too much of a good deal. Too much of a good deal. He would be asking for more money, surely. But yeah, so I was, but trying to get it paired up. Oh my god, it took forever. And it was ball ache. It said, "Oh no, now you got to switch it to this network, and then you got to go back to this one." I was like, "Can we not just plug and play? It's so hard." But it does work brilliantly now. Now that I've got it all working and synced up, it's brilliant, and it works really cool. But yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Right. Anyway, I've just realized I'm paying attention to the timer. We need to wrap this up. So I'll tell you what. Let's get on to this last challenge that you want to do with me, and then we'll discuss that, and then we'll shoot off.
Well, this came to me after last episode, and then after you sent me the video of that amazing, ridiculous wand of yours.
Right. I was like, hang on a minute. What did I do?
If anyone hasn't seen last episode, and I think eventually we will put it up as either a short or something, but he has this wand where you literally put some kind of flame retardant paper into it. You pretend to say a spell and you click it, and it bursts into flames. Like the flames.
It's magician flash paper. This is the stuff that they use to, when they open up
It's like he's a dove. Why is a dove?
Yeah.
Like what the hell? But yeah, that was cool. But I want to see.
Mm.
So obviously we both have a love of movies.
Yes.
I want us to both buy something from AliExpress
Okay.
under $35,
Right.
but it has to be a movie prop or something to do with movies. Because I want to see what we both buy. Because we both have similar tastes. I know you've already got heaps of stuff. That's what made me
Wolverine claws. I've even got my. Hang on. Where's my? I've even got a lucky piece. My lucky horns. I've even got my lucky horns.
Oh my god!
For those of you who are watching the vidcast, you can enjoy this image.
And now this is obviously where all those cam girls have come in. They've seen Jordan wearing things like this and just been like.
Funnily enough, I bought Ellie's got some as well. She's got the Sylvie ones.
Oh my god. Okay, well, looks like I think I'm going to get beaten with this challenge because Jordan is thing, but no, it's more because I have a love affair of movies and movie props as well, and obviously Jordan, if you can see the vidcast, it's ridiculous. Like,
well, I'm Loki Wolverine variant.
So I want to see what you can get for $35.
$35, right? Okay.
From AliExpress.
All right. Okay.
And I just want to see because I'll do the same. So I say what we both do is we both go online, we both buy something.
Okay.
And then
any movie
you want, any prop you want, whether it be like, as you said, like the claws, whether it be Moon Knights, blades, whatever it is. I just want to see something cool. I'm going to try to do the same, and we'll figure out who got the best value for money.
Okay. Well, this obviously with AliExpress's shipping times, we'll have to.
That's what I'm saying. So by episode 20. when we've hit it big and there's actually people watching, people can vote. Okay. We will vote on who it is because with AliExpress it could take a year.
No, well, I order a fair bit, and luckily most of the time they're here within 3 months. I've been rather lucky with all my stuff.
I think that, so. There's been one thing that I've had over 3 months, but a lot of the stuff seems to come in like 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, I'm trying to think now. Oh no, is right. So under $35 and. I'm gonna try and beat you with something. I'm gonna try and think of something obscure.
Movie related.
It has to be movie prop related. Yeah. No, I get that.
Because I think there's I won't lie. There's one or two things that I was thinking of. I did see Moon Knights. Their moon swords, the moon knife things.
Oh yeah, it's like stars, throwing star.
Like half moon kind of throwing star.
Yeah.
So I've seen those, and I've seen a few other things. So I know that $35. Most of them are actually under, but you can get some cool stuff for that. Yeah. Which is kind of scary.
And I've even got my lightsabers here as well.
Jordan's already got so many cool things. So
this is my first one that I ever bought. So,
that being said, though, I do have a lightsaber on my desk as well.
Yeah, cool.
This is airport grade aluminum. So.
Also, you're rich.
I don't know if you can hear that. But if you listen to my other podcasts or our old podcast, this lightsaber was the pain of of numbers existence, because I always had a habit of fiddling with it, and then all you would hear throughout the podcast in the background is this. Of me just playing with it or spinning it or accidentally dropping it at times so it would come through. Oh my god!
These are my Sith ones. These are I've got a connector that makes it a double staff for these ones.
Okay, yeah. I've got a feeling that I've already lost now. This shouldn't have been a challenge I threw out there. I know you showed me the claws and I saw the Reiki, the Loki thing, and I was like, this will be cool because we'll be able to get some cool props and it'll be funny. Because the only other thing I said was it was going to be buy a present for the other person of a movie prop, but then I'm like, I don't know if we do that. But I was just
I think for the first one we do for ourselves, and then I think the next one maybe is you got to buy something that's movie or game related to see if the other person knows what the hell it is.
Jordan just types in anime. it'll literally be the main character of an anime, and it'll probably have his name like on the T-shirt or something, and I still probably wouldn't get it. I'll be like,
No, I'm about to say I'll work it out. I'm gonna say I like a challenge. I'm gonna see if I can find something that is in your wheelhouse, but you see if I can obscure it enough so you don't know what it is, and go, I recognize it. I do. I recognize it. What is it?
I've got like five things in mind.
Okay.
One of them is something that I've always wanted, and I almost bought a couple of times. The other one I almost bought like literally 2-3 months ago, but then I found out it's actually like a paper version of it.
Oh, okay.
So I thought it was like one of those plastic guns.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's actually a paper one. So they've made it out of paper, and I'm like,
yeah, it's not.
Yeah, I don't know if I want that. And then there's a few things, and I'm like, oh. But I reckon the problem is if whatever I get, I have a feeling you're going to get like instantly. But but one of the things I'm thinking of buying is just because I've always wanted to buy it, and it's an excuse to buy it. Or I can say, it was part of the YouTube, so it was technically a challenge, so I had to do it. But yes, I'm really hoping that we can do this because I think it's going to just be funny. Because
I think we'll have a good laugh with that. Yeah, it'll be a good laugh. We'll work it out.
But yeah, or what I might do is if I can buy them from the same seller, just buy two cool things and just be like, this is the one that I've always wanted. This is the other one.
Yeah.
Because I just think obscurity is going to be hard because I think both of us watch enough movies.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I reckon we can. I reckon we can still find something, but I'm gonna let me mull on it for a couple of days, and then I'll. I think the $35 might be a bit interesting, sort of thing.
Well, I'm gonna set $35, but if I know you as well, if you find something sick, it's not stopping at $35.
No. Trust me, if I find something sick, that I will be investing.
Yeah, but if Ali's listening, it's gonna.
It's gonna be about $10, babe. $10.
Yeah, it's nothing. It's just they're cheap. That's why we went to AliExpress cheap. So Ali, turn off now. Yeah, so about $35.
Yeah, about $35.
It could go crazy, and it should be fun. So people, make sure you check back. We will try to make sure that we pop it in, and anything we do buy, what we'll do is we'll probably put links in the description. So if you want to be numpties like us and own some of this stuff, we will put it in there for you.
Yes, we'll also have some images and proper nice fancy images and everything. That's what we'll do.
Yeah. Just get like I've got a model friend. She can just like wear them if it needs to be worn and stuff. Like just have like a full on professional photo of just stupid cheap stuff we get from it.
That sounds great.
But I won't lie, it's gonna be dumb, and it's gonna be us, so it's gonna be perfect.
Right. Well, that's great. I think it's a great time for us to end it there. We've actually done it, and we're over time, but. Editing Jordan won't be able to fix much of that, but we'll be fine.
we're not 46 minutes over time like last episode where we kind of went.
We've got it down.
Chat about it, and then we kind of accidentally recorded it, and then we kind of went, it's been 2 hours. Oh crap. Okay, now we need to edit. So we did that.
But yeah. So anyway, obviously, as we said at the beginning of the podcast, make sure you like, comments. We're on YouTube. We're on Spotify. Anchor also is a podcast streaming service that is they link to Spotify as well. And yeah, just make sure you follow us. Let us know what you think. And yeah, and if you've got any awesome, great ideas for $35 or less on AliExpress, let me know.
I won't lie. Put them in there, guys, because if not, what we'll actually do is when we actually do the episode, we'll actually show what other people would have bought for $35. So
that'd be a good idea.
If there is something, we'll chuck up some photos and we'll go like, such and such reckons this would be good value for $35. So yeah, if you've got ideas, put them down there. Fingers crossed nobody takes our ideas because it's going to look like we just copied them. But yeah, no, throw them down there because like the fire paper wand was cool. Obviously, some of the stuff that Jordan has seems to be cool, and I'm like,
well, I can't wait to have my office so I can have it displayed properly. That's why I'm gonna have it looking good in my new office. But that's a future episode for us to talk about.
That could be the AliExpress finally came.
Yes,
episode.
It could be definitely. But anyway, guys, thank you for listening to us. Jordan here and Dez from Dorks Down Under. Thank you for listening and peace out, guys.
See you next episode.